Hello audience, my name is Rowan, and welcome to episode 1 of my Neverwinter Nights Let's Play. It has been years and years since I last played this game, but I have such fond memories of it. And now that I'm able to record videos on my own, I decided my first game will be this game. We'll start with the base campaign, but I will want to play these future campaigns, so those will be in store for the future. And we'll play the Prelude. Now we'll create a brand new character. Now our first choice when making a character is of course gender. Male, female. There are no benefits or disadvantages to being a different gender. There's no glass ceiling for either gender. But I'll pick a male for this specific Let's Play, so we'll be a male character. Now for our race, each race has their own bonuses and disadvantages, and they can get pretty complex. As I am fairly new, I'll choose human. They're pretty basic. They can be anything on multiclassing, which I'll go into in the future. They gain extra feet at first level, which I'll go into in mere moments, and additional skill points, which I will also go into in mere moments. So we'll be a male human. We'll click OK. Next, how should we look? Our portrait decides that much. How about we choose... This looks nice. We'll choose this portrait. Our next option is a class. Well, what class should we be? There are lots of classes. These grayed out ones we can't take yet, but we can in the future if we decide to go that route. How about we make a cleric? I think that would be nice. We'll pick a cleric. I'll go into cleric as we go out through this video. My alignment will be neutral good. These alignments are largely how you perceive the universe, I suppose. How you generally act, but of course, as I'm sure people know, good people can do bad things, and bad people can do good things. Such is true in this game. If you take, particularly lawful actions, you'll go towards lawful. Chaotic will lead towards chaotic. So this will change depending on our actions during this gameplay video. Or sorry, gameplay series. Abilities. Now, I could play an upfront melee cleric with a big old mace and shield, but I won't. Strength determines your physical prowess and your carrying weight. I'll bring that to a 10. Because I don't want to have a penalty in there. That seems silly. Dexterity affects your reflexes and agility. And if you're wearing light or medium armor, this will also increase your armor class. Bring that to a 10 as well. Constitution. I'll bring this to a 14. I do not want to be, I want to be fit, This affects your overall hit points and your fortitude score. Quite useful. Now, wisdom as a cleric improves my spell casting. The higher this number is, the more spell slots I have, and the more potent my spells will be. We'll bring this up to a 16. Now, intelligence for a cleric merely means skill points, which I like to have skill points. Charisma will affect my turning undead capacity and how effective it is, which I'll go into that in the future, as well as overall persuasiveness and other like-minded skills. So I'll bring that to a 14 as well. And with that, I think we have our character. Not very strong, not very fast, really healthy, quite wise, smarter than average, and very charismatic. Packages. Now, these packages here, they give you a preset for your character. They'll determine what feats, domains, and skills you pick. But I want to pick my own. I think we'd like that. Let's go pick our own. 16 skill points at level 1. Well, concentration affects how well we can cast while under pressure, for all intents and purposes. So we'll put 4 into that. Lore is our knowledge of, well, things. This will allow us to identify magical items that we just don't know what they are, which is quite handy. Persuade seems quite nice, being able to talk our way out of a situation, or into one perhaps, depending on what we want. Spellcraft allows us to identify enemy spells, and if possible, to counterspell them. Could be quite nice. We'll click OK. As we're a human, we gain an additional feat, as I mentioned earlier. With this extra feat, Courteous Magocracy could be nice. +2 bonus to lore and spellcraft. And what's this? Silver Palm. +2 bonus on a praise and persuade. Could be nice. You know, I think we'll get that. We're persuasive. And, no, you won't. Gosh, this is always the hardest part for me. There's just so many options. I think for a good... Ooh, what's this one? Fort and Will? You know what? We'll get Strong Soul. This seems like a nice one to have. Bonus to Fortitude and Will saving throws, as well as a bonus to versus death magic, so if someone tries to use any sort of horrible spells on us, we'll have a better chance to resist. I like the sound of that, personally. Toughness is hit points, but I think I want, since I will be focusing on being a caster person, I think I'll get Spell Penetration. I think that would be nice. So my spells have a little more accuracy against those who have spell resistance, and I have a Strong Soul, so I'm resistant to death magic. Click OK. Now then, for our domains. This gives us a little more, more benefits. As a cleric, we can already wear heavy armor and cast spells, but this gives us a sort of, just a little bit extra flair. It's our cool haircut. It's the fins on the back of our DeLorean. This gives us a little more specialization to, say, healing, travel spells, animal control. War is quite scary. I imagine that war and strength would be a good combination. But I think, you know what, to match with our, our Strong Soul, maybe something like death and healing might be a good combination. A sort of symbiotic relationship between life and death. I think that might be nice. You know what, we'll do that. We'll choose the death domain and the healing domain. What this does for us, death, this gives us the ability to summon a shadow to fight for us. A little pet, if you will. Healing makes our healing spells far more powerful. We also get access to really powerful healing spells quite early. Death gives us far more negative energy spells, such as Phantasmal Killer and Enervation. Very scary indeed. And with that, we customize our character. We can turn left and right, using the said arrow keys. Now what should we look like? Ooh, a hood. Interesting. So many options. Oh, there's a good option. Sure, we'll have a tattoo or two. Maybe something... Here we go, how about this? Maybe we'll have... What about just black and white tattoos right on the hands that sort of signify life and death? Sort of a healer's hands, if you will. We'll keep that body shape for now, but you see we could be really fat, or bulky and large and muscly, or just thin. We'll choose thin for now. We're not very physically imposing, I think. Ooh, that's awfully bright. You know what? This looks rather nice. A little less formal than I'd care for, though. Here we go. This looks a lot fancier. We'll go with this for now. Skin color, a little more tan. Hair color, very nice dark brown. I think that looks fantastic. We'll go with this. We'll click OK.
Get on them! Attack, I say!
Here we choose our voice. How should we sound? We can sound,
The battle is on!
something like that. We can sound like a maniac.
Attack! Kill them now!
Strike at them! Attack!
I want to see suffering.
That sounds rather evil. We're not evil. We're a good guy.
Attack! I say attack!
No.
Strike at them! Attack!
By my will, attack! Faith shall grant me victory!
To the fight, my friends! Attack! That's it for you! Take that! Have at thee!
It's also not quite what I'm looking for.
Strike at them! Attack! Let the earth take you! Perish as you should! Taste of my wrath!
That sounds nice. Sounds like he has a bit of an accent going on. Maybe he's hung out with a lot of elves. Who knows? He might have. We'll call him Jather. His last name will be... How about Red Willow? We'll see he has hung out with a lot of elves. No, let's have him be an adult. I'm thinking 31 years old. That explains his wisdom, his intelligence, and charisma. He's a healthy old... Well, not really old guy. He's a healthy adult. For our deity, I know. How about Kelemvor? Overall, god of death and, passing into death. That would be good for the death and healing. He's not an evil god. I think that'd be nice. I think we're good to go. Okay. With that, we have Jather Redwillow, a neutral good human cleric of Kelemvor. Overall, not very strong, not very fast, fairly healthy, smaller than average, very wise, and fairly charismatic. Alright then. I think with that, we'll jump into the game.
The Frozen North, the name given to the stark and unforgiving frontier that lies beyond the high moor of Faerun. A bleak wilderness where barbarian clans and tribes of giants roam the land and fierce dragons rule the skies. But amidst the frozen savagery stands a bastion of civilization, the city of Neverwinter, Jewel of the North. Behind the city's high walls, those both hardy and brave carve out an existence from this bleak land under the guidance and protection of the legendary hero, Lord Nasher Alagonda. Yet there are some things that all the courage in the world cannot stand against. A virulent plague swept the city, a terrible affliction that began in the beggar's nest. Soon, all of Neverwinter would feel the touch of the wailing death. The disease could not be cured. Panic ensued. The streets erupted into violence. The Jewel of the North was brought to its knees. To save Neverwinter, Lady Aribeth de Tilmarand, Paladin of Tyr, and Lord Nasher's right hand put forth the call for a champion. A rush of would-be heroes answered her call, some drawn by promises of grandeur and glory, others by the lure of gold. Those with the greatest potential were initiated into the academy to train and study under the greatest minds of Neverwinter, all in the hopes a champion might emerge to save the city from the wailing death, and whatever sinister force might be behind it.